Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. Today, we're talking Marvin Sapp, the good Reverend Doctor.
I said, close them doors.
And we got special guest, producer, T. Berry in the building. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's go, baby. Yep. Doing numbers. Where we at, Kojak? About 6.5 million in the first year in 2 months. You know he don't know Angelika. 6.5 million views in the first year in 2 months. And so we ain't playing with them. We're excited about that. This segment is powered by popularmail.com. So if you need to get that gear, go to popularmail.com. You know, they make sure you're fresh. And y'all give it up for my lovely co-host, Angelika Jelly Woods is in the building. Give it up for her.
Friday.
Yeah. And give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ, DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak. Oh, look. Oh, he flexing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm need to send him an invoice. Right? For that plug. Hey, Kojak. Before we introduce our guest, I want you to scratch it up 4 times for T. Berry in the building. 4 times. Let's see it.
Oh, what time for the super producer right there?
Oh, okay. Angelika, let me ask him. Hey, man. Hey, Doc.
What's that?
Did you hear that scratch?
I heard it.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
Okay.
He's a real producer, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
he
got that ear.
Thank you.
He got that ear.
He had 3 producers on the set tonight, Angelika. You're the only one that ain't produced music in here.
Lies, imagination.
Man, but listen, y'all.
Mixed up in creativity.
This brother right here started making waves back in 2017 in his hometown of Miami, the MIA. Right. Man. And then back then he was working with Slip and Slide and Atlantic Records, right? And he also laced tracks for the multi-platinum artists like Trina, Rick Ross, Plies, right? And that's just the start. And then he went to Houston, right? Then he went to Houston and he worked with Matthew Knowles and Beyoncé and other folks in H-Town. Y'all give it up for T. Berry, the super producer in the show, in the building.
That's a few of the names.
Man.
Going and going and going.
Yeah, brother, what's happening, man? Welcome.
What the lick read? That's a Miami term.
Yeah.
Right, you need to translate it for these.
So what the lit read mean? What's happening? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. So somebody come up to your mom and say what the lit read, and they got like big pistol on them. That mean run it.
Run me them pockets. Run me them pockets, man. Hey, man, thank you for joining us, man. Truly appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here.
Y'all bringing me out.
Yeah, man. So you were the head of production with Matthew Knowles at Music World, right?
Music World, yeah, man. So I had I left when I was finished with Slip and Slide, which was a great experience. I grew up.
Touche was at Slip and Slide. I'm Touche.
He's the owner.
That's my nickname too.
Okay,
right.
Yeah,
It was the 2 Touches. It was the 2 Touches in the music.
Yeah, man.
Where's Skinny at? Skinny ain't back in West. It was the 2 Touches. And I used to hear about Touche all the time. Like when I would go to Impact and all of the, the conferences and stuff like that.
Did anybody nobody called him Ted Lucas.
Right. Touche. I didn't even know who. That's my first time even hearing this real name.
Yeah.
Right.
Did anybody ask you for some money thinking you was the other 2?
Man, I was 30 cents away from having a quarter, man. So if they did, man, look, I'm telling you, my pockets were inverted back then. That's when we had the ruins out, Kojak. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So Trick Daddy and I all grew up on the South Side. And but I had family on the South Side and North Side. And one day met Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke was good friends with another famous DJ that grew up in our neighborhood named Tiny Head. And so I was always into the music. Right. And everybody had been hearing about me making beats and that kind of thing. And Trick's brother, Chuck, was my manager. Shout out Chuck. Shout out whole Dunk Riders, Trick Daddy. And he's like, man, we want you to come. Want to hear some of your tracks. I was like, all right, cool. Here's some tracks. And after I let him hear some tracks, like maybe, don't know, 2 weeks later, it was like, here, sign this. I was like, okay.
Right, okay.
Oh, did you read it before you
Hey,
signed?
we all been through that.
I ain't
one.
gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. So that's why I'm an advocate for artists to look at their contracts.
Right.
But I'm also an advocate for stepping out on faith.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I signed it. It wasn't a bad contract. It wasn't a great contract.
It was
But
a first contract.
First contract.
Right.
And damn, who said that? Ball and G.
Ball and G.
Did they say that? I
My
didn't-
first
I-
contract.
Right,
It
right.
turned out
You
to
know,
be my
Ball and
worst
G was
contract.
just here at the mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just took it because I knew it was an opportunity, you
Mhm.
know, and Trick was still hot, you know what I'm saying, and started his Dunk Rider label. So I was one of the producers. With Iceberg, with some of the artists, Suit. He had a great team. It didn't work out as far as the artist wise, but he had some great talent on there. And for me, it gave me a chance to really get into the industry. Like once cats said, man, I want to be in, you ain't really into you in it. And you realize like it's tough getting in.
Yeah.
But once you get in, you realize like, man, this is huge. You
And it's
know,
a lot of money.
Big.
Oh, it's
Big
a
money.
lot.
Now you got to remember, I came in, I got signed to Slip and Slide in 2007. There was no such thing as streaming.
Right.
It was only ringbacks, ringtones,
yeah.
ringbacks, and downtones,
I
downloads.
remember them.
Yeah.
And they were 99 cents, $1.29, whatever Verizon charged to you. BlackBerry, which was another great phone back in the day.
Oh man, look,
Love
I was
BlackBerry.
just on Bev Johnson show. She had her BlackBerry still.
Man,
look.
So
yeah.
hindsight, you would sign the same contract all over again.
Yeah,
Nothing
I
different,
wouldn't
same
change
contract.
it. I wouldn't change, but now what I would change is it took me a little. So I got signed late. I'm a late bloomer. I got signed to Slip and Slide. I was already like 32. So, but I'd always been doing music. So a lot of people had already experienced in the music production process.
32 is a late bloomer.
That's late to start them as a being signed to a producer.
Yeah,
Really?
You know, look,
Yeah, for
by
real.
25, your mom and them trying to figure out, hey, you ain't got no job yet.
Right. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you look,
Okay.
you know, your daddy a school teacher, go get a teaching job, which I did.
Yeah.
I was in education for
Oh, wow.
9
Okay.
years.
Really?
I taught severely emotionally disturbed and a minor in variant exceptionalities.
Oh man, give it up
Middle
for that.
school.
Hold up, man. Hold up.
Middle
Hold up.
school.
Slow
So I was
down.
at work.
Slow
Yeah,
down.
that's
right
at the
there.
crossroads. Them kids at the
They
crossroads.
trying to figure it out.
And that's what's needed right now.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I did that. I coached my old high school basketball team and football team.
What?
So I this is a very unknown. You have to really be in Miami or
Yeah.
South Miami to understand and know the question to this. So I always ask people, I say, who do you think my point guard was on my JV basketball team? He is a huge music star. And I give everybody a chance to guess. And
He's
they
a
just
huge
guess.
music star.
Huge. When I say huge,
Out of Miami.
international huge
Out of
music
Miami.
star.
Out of Miami.
Out of Miami. Out of Miami.
Oh,
Pitbull.
100,000 up. There you go.
Oh, hey.
Chris
Was he
Armando.
hooping?
Chris was my point guard.
He was
Put it that
hooping.
way.
Yeah.
He was my point guard.
Yeah.
Chris, don't bring your girlfriend to the game.
Oh,
He
yeah.
got doggone. He be kicking it out of bounds. Hey, sit on the bench. Sit down.
Oh,
Sit down.
Trying to show out.
Yeah,
trying to show out. Right.
Still
right,
showing
right.
out.
But
Right.
the first time I heard Pitbull rap, and he came to I had a studio in my condo in Miami Lakes. He came and he came there to sell me some burnout Nextels.
Uh-oh.
Nextels stay open for a month.
Right. That is
I said,
hilarious.
yeah. I said, I don't need none. I said, but go and get in the closet. He was a hustler. When I heard him rap, now when you see somebody play ball, you like, oh yeah. But
He got
I heard Pitbull rap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you were in South Miami though,
Yep,
right?
South Miami.
Man, let me tell y'all something. I drove to South Miami, right? From here. Man, listen.
Damn.
Half the trip was when I got into Miami to get to South Miami. Man, that took forever. Man, people don't realize how big Miami is.
Oh yeah.
It's a big market.
Big long,
Yes,
big long
indeed.
state.
Yes, indeed.
You know, we're a big long state.
Here's what's interesting about Miami too. Kojak, you remember the days we used to be back and forth, when they had conferences in Miami, this, that, and other, and so on and so forth. And Miami had pirate radio.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I
And
love
man,
it.
so man, listen, man, I could be
Seen
coming
that
across the
on Al.
causeway, right? And honestly, that was the first time I heard people not giving a fuck. They cursing all on the radio. I'm like, what is this? Right? And then they playing the stuff Not all that commercial stuff,
No.
the stuff you ain't heard yet.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, man. And I was
Exactly.
loving it. Yeah,
that was
man.
Uncle Al, Bodie Lover.
Uh-huh.
That was Base 919 was the pirate radio
Right.
station.
And they used to move it, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
they
they
had
used to move,
They
move
had
the
to,
signal.
But and if you Google it, you'll see where when the feds and the FCC raided the place.
Oh, wow.
Because
wow.
people don't realize that. So pirate radio is a federal charge.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah, and they kicked down doors. They
Yeah.
came with a SWAT team.
Yeah.
because they had a antenna and a amplifier that project. So legally, you can have, I think it's up to maybe 5 watts or 2 watts.
Right.
But
Get
their
around the
radio
block.
station
I
like
thought it was
10,000
30.
watts.
Man, listen,
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was
Listen.
illegal.
Yeah.
Listen, and they were getting it.
Oh
man.
no,
that
it was
station was
not, we didn't even
live,
listen
man.
to the commercial station.
Right.
You listen to the underground because
Yeah.
they played all the records that you would normally hear,
Right.
like
Yeah.
in the jams
And the
skating ring.
uncut version.
Uncut, yeah,
Right.
uncut. Oh yeah,
Right. Man.
2014. Listen,
Mhm.
I used to go to Miami DJ
Okay.
every year,
Right.
right? And the guy hooked me up with all the equipment.
Mhm.
North Memphis Radio. Fun fact, that's how it started. I came back with the transmitters. I was doing it right here in Memphis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had like a 30 watt.
Yeah.
You know, I was still under the radar.
Yeah,
at the time,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I used to hit
Yeah.
every club, and I
Yeah.
know y'all remember that.
I do.
used to hit
We
every
need to
club,
revive that though.
Yeah.
and we put that antenna on top of the club.
Oh, they would have had on top of the building
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never
but-
heard of
But
such a
what
thing.
got them really caught
Uh-huh.
when you start taking commercial ads.
Oh, trying to make that money.
Hey, when you start
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
ads from companies, liquor
Yeah.
stores, and all that, mom and pop, now you
Right.
taking money out of some radio pockets.
Right.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, they gonna tell
them big,
on-
them
they
big,
gonna
them big
Yeah.
companies, Cumulus. And
Yeah,
it wasn't iHeart
yeah.
back then. It
Cox.
was
No, it was
Cox.
Cox.
Yeah, Cox and,
Cox
and,
Radio.
uh, and Clear. Now it wasn't. Was it even Clear Channel? Then it was Cox,
Cumulus,
Cumulus, and Radio One.
Radio One.
Radio One.
Yeah.
Oh,
Start
God.
taking
Yeah.
that money from them folks, man. Them folks
Yeah.
get
Oh
hopping,
yeah, yeah. So
Snitching.
hopping mad.
yeah, so
Snitch.
after all that, Pitbull, and I really started coming to my own as a music producer.
Mhm.
And Sip and Slide was a great experience, you know what I'm saying? And I got to produce, work under Jim Johnson, Scott Storch I work with,
Okay.
my
Yeah.
boy BB at Circle House,
Mhm.
with like one of the premier studios where
Yeah.
everyone goes. If y'all ever remember when Keisha Cole had her album release party, that was at Circle House
Okay.
Studios.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I worked at Hit Factory Criteria, which is another famous
Okay.
studio.
Yeah.
Everybody worked at
Hit
that. I
Factory,
was at
that was
Hit- this is a crazy story. I'm working at I'm doing some work in Hit Factory and Scott Storch's room, and DMX is working on a new album. And he was trying to fly a remote control helicopter that he just kept crashing.
right.
So
Yeah.
so I used to be at a lot of different
Yeah.
studios, and it got to travel a lot. One
Uh-huh.
thing about music, so I used to travel to Atlanta, go to Patchwork Studios. I used to go. Atlanta used to have this place called the Apache,
Mhm.
and it was basically a club where all the musicians and
Yeah.
artists would come,
Mhm.
and it'd just be industry folks.
Yeah.
So one
Yeah.
night I'm in there, it's like the entire Dungeon family was there.
Oh.
Everybody was
yeah.
there except for
Talk about talent.
Andre.
Mhm.
He's the only one wasn't
Mhm.
there. I got to meet Rico Wade before
Yeah.
he passed. God bless his dead.
Mhm.
And but everyone was there. Big Boy, CeeLo, Cujo, everybody was
Mhm.
there, and that was like on
Cujo was the coldest
Man,
slept on
come
man for real,
on,
man.
man.
Now, Andre 3000, Big Boy.
Oh, yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
top
Talented.
5.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But people, man, when I heard Cujo on that verse on Call of the Wild,
Wow.
man, I said, man, this
Oh, yeah.
man,
Hey,
the
man.
cadence.
Oh yeah.
The cadence on man, crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's Outkast's first album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
But let me
Go
ask you this. Let me ask you this though. When did you know you were on? What's the first record that said, man, I'm in there, I'm on?
well, I did a bunch of records that were like locally, just
Uh-huh.
like, okay, yeah, I
Right.
think I'm on something.
Mhm.
The first time I heard, so I did a song for Plies called Hustle All Day. I produced it and did the hook,
Mhm.
sung the hook and everything.
Okay.
And that record went on his first mixtape. It was DJ Drama, DJ
Mhm.
Scream,
Mhm.
Greg
Mhm.
Street, and Bigger Rank.
Oh, yeah, the big folks
Big,
on
big.
there.
Big, big.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from Atlanta from mixing.
Mhm.
Now that record was actually supposed to be on his album. I was supposed to have like either the first or the second single after Shorty, which was the
Mhm.
T-Pain record.
Yeah,
So I'm coming from Atlanta from
Insane
mixing,
Wayne,
and I get a
huh?
call from my homegirl Tavaria. Tavaria's got a barbershop in Daytona near
Mhm.
Bethune-Cookman. He's like, Plies just left here with this promo show. That song you did for him it's crazy. Everybody going nuts about it. I'm thinking like, wait, what promo song? I got 2 records that's supposed to be on his album. She was like, nah. It's on the mix
On the
CD.
mixtape. Uh-huh.
So now I'm like, wait, that means I ain't getting paid for it. I'm happy because it's out.
Right.
That means I ain't getting no money.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Right.
So I detoured from Atlanta going straight home to Miami. I go to Daytona, and I got the mixtape. It's DJ Drama's mixtape that he did with DJ Drama, and I put it on, and people was there and they played it, and I was like, yeah, that's me. That's my beat. That's me singing on the hook, and it was jamming. And I was like, whoa. Then I was like, wait, money.
Right.
All up Plies. He didn't pick up. He called back the next day. Man, you got to talk to Big Bro about it. I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
So at this time when Plies and Trick was going through a little something. So I don't know how music politics work. You know, when you in there, I'm new to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I'm on, but I ain't got no bread.
But I ain't eating nothing. Right. Yeah.
So that kind of started leading me down the path of start getting your business a little bit more older. But when I really felt like I was there, homecoming weekend, FAMU. Plies is the headlining artist. And I'm on stage and the Moon in Tallahassee is packed. Packed. I'm like 5,000 packed. And Plies goes through his set and he asked DJ Sugar was his DJ at the time. He said, Sugar, what we got next? And as soon as the first note came on, I knew it was my record. And when it came on and it dropped, because it drops with me singing the hook.
Right.
All day and you grind all week. Listen, you don't work, you don't eat. That's all a nigga know. When it dropped and the entire Moon sung the hook.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you
That'd
are.
be amazing.
Oh, I had to go out the back door.
Did you get chills?
crying?
Did you get chills, man?
Right, like a big old baby.
Ugly cry.
Like I went out back balling, boy.
Ugly
I
cry.
was
That's
like,
ugly cry. Ugly cry.
Yeah, that's me.
Right,
Then I was like, damn, no money though.
Right.
But it was that
Yeah.
to see to have that, a large amount of people sing something that you created is the most intrinsic reward you can have.
Hey man, hey dude,
man, it's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
So I know how artists feel when they create something and they put their heart and soul in it. And go out there and you see people singing it. Like if you don't get emotional about that about yourself, something wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you're doing bodies of work as a politician or as a carpenter or building a house or making a painting. When someone appreciates and you see that. That man, it got to do something to you,
man. Well, I produce music too, so so I know what you like. Tell me this. I always like to ask this question. Okay, gotcha. I always like to ask this question. First time you heard yourself on the radio.
I thought I sounded stupid.
Right? Really?
Get out of here.
But how did it make you feel though? You
it made me feel like I was like doing something, but then you overthink it. Did I say that? Oh man, my voice sounds terrible.
Oh, so you got technical on yourself, right? That's the producer.
We're gonna go down hard on these parts.
Now, what song was that though?
Which one?
You remember that the first time you heard yourself on the radio? You remember what it was?
The Hustle All Day record.
Hustle All Day, right?
The first record, and I was singing the hook, and I was like, that's me.
I could have did this, and I could have did that.
Can I really understand? It was nothing wrong with it. I was just being overcritical of myself.
Hard on yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Just thinking like, one thing I learned this from a well-known producer that used to work for Mr. Knowles. He told me, you will never create your best record ever. So don't ever get down and think that you could have done better. That was your best record. Like there's no other shot. No, in 2 days you might create something better than that.
And I think that's a good thing. Because if you ever create what you think is your best record and there's no more growth.
None.
I think that's
the crazy part about it. When you do reach that record, you think that's your best record. Don't nobody want to hear that. They want to hear the other record.
Like
that's what you want to. That's what you want.
You ain't lying.
Right.
The market be asking for something totally different. You said you'd be like, I remember on Club Stuck, Sex and Drugs, one of my first, third albums that I produced. I had this song, Shake It, right? strip clubs.
Yeah.
But everybody wanted P Smooth, Ballaholics.
Listen, I think you came up to the radio station one time. He's like,
Yeah.
which one you like? And I believe I picked
Ballaholic.
I'm like, he was like,
I'm
for
like,
real?
you ain't feeling shaky.
He want you like
P
shaking
Smooth on the
real
hook.
bad.
I'm trying to sell it, right?
trying to
P
sell
Smooth on the hook, right,
Yeah.
man? And I just love that song. You know, I grew up in California and then finished high school in Texas, and so lived most of my life here in Memphis. So I got a mixture of Oakland, LA, Houston, Texas, Port Arthur, Texas, and Memphis.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so my production style was a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, had a blend of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And we did deal with RCA too. So we were there with, in fact, with Rough House Records.
Gotcha.
You know,
Rough House Records,
with Rough House. Shout out to Joe Nicolo and the team over there at Rough House Judgment Records. But look, so you got to Houston.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
All right, so my contract was over with at Slip and Slide. I was in Tallahassee. Believe it or not, going through trying to figure out how I'm gonna get some money from this record I didn't get paid for. And I had a little savings, but I'm starting to go through my savings because I was still had a little bit left on my contract. And so I started doing overnight radio. I was an overnight board op.
Okay.
In Panama City. So what happened was Billy Cook, who's a well-known singer out of Houston, comes to TJ's DJs in Tallahassee.
TJ's DJs. We know TJ. Yeah. Shout out. Hey, he been keeping it going for real.
Oh yeah. So they came down. Everybody knew the stuff I did for Plies, and Billy was like, "Man, come to Houston. Man, I'll pay you. We got a bunch of people want some tracks, some hooks. I want you to write me some hooks. Yada yada yada." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll come." So I drive to Houston. I link up with.
Hit that 10, didn't you? You hit that 10. Hit that I-10, baby.
All the way hit up down through there. So I run into another mentor of mine, a guy by the name of Beatmaster Clay D. So Clay D used to produce a lot of tracks for Uncle Luke.
Okay.
All of the groups that was on Two Live Crew.
Right.
And plus he was an artist of his own. So Clay had started working at Rap a Lot. So went and linked up with him. He showed me around Houston. I did some tracks. And then Mr. J. Prince, met up with him.
Got to meet up with J. Prince.
And then became a great friendship. And meeting with Mr. J. Prince. And this is the crazy thing. People don't understand that Mr. J. Prince and Mr. Knowles are good friends, great businessmen. Because guess what? They don't drive in each other's lane. Mr. Knowles is all R&B. Mr. J. Prince is all hip hop. So they were good friends. He used to come up to the compound a lot. So I seen a rep from Sony was at Guitar Center.
Okay.
And he had seen Mr. Knowles and said, "Hey, what you got going on?" He said, "I just finished meeting with T-Berry." And Mr. Knowles like, "T-Berry, he's out here?" Like, "Yeah." He called me up. "Hey, man, I want you to come over to the compound, man. I want you to talk to you about some business. Got some remixes and stuff to do." And he had another girl group he was putting out called Blush. I did their entire project. But meeting with Mr. Knowles was and working with him was, I ain't gonna lie to you, probably one of the, if people consider him to be an asshole, which he is. Right. But I ain't gonna lie to you, look what he did. He had the greatest girl group ever. His daughter is by far the greatest, biggest female artist in the last 20 years.
Right.
So just learning from him and then hearing all the crazy stories, because he had, people forget, at one point, Mr. Knowles used to manage Nas.
Right. I didn't know that. And we're talking about Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad.
Yeah.
Right.
So he had a bunch of people over there. He used to have Ray J over there, Mario. He used to tell me all of the stories that went on. And I was like, yeah, I can believe it was a madhouse back in those days. Everybody was trying to scramble because it was some real money going on back then. Man. You think you got Destiny's Child and your Beyonce's project is just bananas. Right. And then y'all forget, he had the #1 gospel artist that year.
Who was that?
Who was that?
Take a guess. Female.
Yolanda Adams.
Nope.
Trinity.
Nope. Female. Well, he had Trinity too.
Not CeCe Winans.
No. I gave last name Johnson.
Leandria Johnson.
Yeah.
She's from up here. She's from right up here in Tipton County. Literally up the street.
She was on Music World. I think
He making all that little money. He making all that money.
Yeah, she dope too, man.
Oh,
we got hey Leandria, we need you on the show.
Oh yeah.
Hey, call her, tell her to come on the show.
You're my gospel crusher. Right. You know that.
Right. Get in line. Get in line.
Will you get saved saved and baptized for.
Y'all know the Leandra Johnson I'm talking about because she stay be saved, but
Hey, thank you.
she stay
Yes, sir.
she stay in it though.
Thank you.
She
Thank
just got out
you.
of jail or something.
Thank you. Thank you.
With that being said,
her and Ricky Floyd were friends, good friends.
Okay.
Yeah, too. Yeah,
Okay.
Andrea Johnson. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
So getting over there to music world, when I got there, I was first of all, it was just like, wow, this actually Beyonce in the studio.
Mhm.
Mr. Knowles had a 3-story mansion. It was the Rice Mansion, which is his office, but he had a museum. It was all of the Destiny's Child memorabilia, the dress that they performed in the Grammys. They were hanging up on mannequins. All of the platinum plaques, which is man, there's so many damn platinum plaques and crazy.
Yeah.
So just getting that opportunity to work with him and just get all of that industry knowledge. His best friend is Harvey Mason. I don't know if y'all know who Harvey
I know
Mason
the name.
is.
Remind me.
He's president of the Grammys.
Okay, I got you.
Harvey Mason,
check.
But this is go back 20 years before that. Harvey Mason was part of a huge production team called the Underdogs. The Underdogs was Harvey Mason and Damon. Damon was the first guy to marry the Kardashian girl.
Okay.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Okay, but that's history. Okay.
So he married Kim Kardashian first.
Connecting the dots.
So they had a production team was the Underdogs. You know, they were on the Clive Davis's label. Produced everything, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, all that. I used to like a lot of my R&B was modeled after them because they were dope. And so in working with Mr. Knowles, I got a chance to meet him because they were good friends because they produced a movie called Four Color Girls. That was Harvey Mason and Mr. Knowles. You know what I'm saying? So got to meet him when he became part of the Grammys, go out to LA and link with him. So like I said, his connections was I mean,
let me ask you this before we close this segment out. You got to Houston. What all artists? Who all did you produce? Did you do work with?
So I worked with
big artists.
Slim Thug, Lil Kiki. Got songs with Zero.
You screwed up Click.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Fat Pat.
Big Mike.
Okay.
3-2.
3-2. Okay.
Who else I got records on? Sauce Walker. I've been knowing Sauce Walker since he was probably maybe a couple of years out of high school.
Wow.
Despite all of what people see today, which he's a phenomenal talent, he was a talent from the day one when I met him. Him, Peso, which is another artist that signed to him. 3-2 and Big Mike is probably one of my like real cats who I really got to link with. I still do tracks for Big Mike. 3-2 passed away, God rest his soul. Someone shot him. But those two were the Convicts, and they have like a Houston anthem. You ever heard that song there? Sitting in the Harris County.
Yes, sir.
Man, you play that record at any show.
Right.
White, black, Spanish, they all know that. I really miss my free world. So man. So those are, I got a great chance to work with them. Moved to LA. I got a bunch of placements. If you watch reality show TV, you probably heard a lot of my music on Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives, Catfish, Washington Heights, which I've never watched that show. Bad Girl Club, Girls Code.
Bad Girls Club, crazy.
Girls Code, Something Bosses. There's a bunch of shows. So that was my first sync placement. And I found out how sync money is good. It's not the sexy because you don't get your name or your tag in it. But it's a bunch of
what you eating though.
People like, man, how many tracks you had to give them? I gave them like 80 tracks. They picked 40, but they all were 45 seconds long.
Yeah, needle drops. That's what we used to call them back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen, y'all don't go anywhere because when we come back, I do want to ask more about Sauce Walker and you know what happened here in Memphis a week ago. Also, we're going to talk about the good Reverend Dr. Marvin Sapp said, lock the doors and give me my money. Right. So stick around, hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I can't say no to your job cause I wanna lose my mind with you. I can't say no to your love cause I wanna lose my mind with you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Elise Neal. You are watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Powered by Black Market Strategies.